Now entering Nerdist.com.
Hello and welcome to Today We Learned. Hope you guys are doing well this Monday morning. I'm one of your hosts, Dan Casey, and we have a very special episode for you today. Today we have a guest that we've been wanting to get on here for a while. Very talented writer and director, just a cool guy. And he is the brains behind a very cool initiative that Nerdist is undertaking. As some of you know, I am, for my day job, I'm the senior editor of Nerdist.com. And Nerdist this year is releasing a movie called Nerdist Presents The Hive. It's a really interesting, scary, midnight movie type of horror flick. I don't want to give too much away, but it has a very non-linear structure that does some very fun, fascinating things. It's got a great cast, including Steve Agee, Gabriel Basso, and I think that you guys are really going to dig it. And if you want to find out more about that, you can go to the premiere. You can buy tickets to the premiere one night only, September 14th at fathomevents.com, or you can head to nerdist.com, get all the info you need about Nerdist Presents The Hive. But enough about me. We've got a great show for you today, and I'm just going to get right to the chase. So let's get my voice out of here so you can listen to my voice and other people's voices. So without further ado, Today We Learned, number 101, with Dave Yarovesky.
Today We Learned. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Today We Learn, episode number 101, I believe, right?
Yeah, just like the popular highway here in Los Angeles.
Oh, I love the 101.
Oh, man. It makes the 405 look like the 110.
And the 110 look like the 10.
And the 10 look like the 2 to the 5 to the Route 70 East.
Ooh.
Is Route 70 a thing? I hope so.
I think Route 70 is
somewhere.
There's the 170 North.
There we go.
And then there's also the 90 East and West.
Man.
Which technically the 90 would go north and south, but it's because it's on a slight askew.
Wild stuff.
Wild stuff. This is a great episode because it's kind of like a Nerdist crossover of sorts. First, it's just a good episode because our show is fun and awesome, and we have cool people on, and one of which is a good friend of mine who's on the show today. But he also is a director, a very talented director, and he has a new film coming out.
That is correct. He
that
has a
is
new...
also presented and like released by Legendary and Nerdist. So it's kind of like
Nerdist is going to be distributing it.
Yes.
And yeah, it's called Nerdist Presents The Hive.
The Hive.
And I've seen it. I really enjoyed it. It's like cool midnight movie style fun. Really inventive, really disgusting in some parts, which is a good thing for a horror movie. And yeah, I'm very excited to have this guy on the podcast.
Yeah,
today.
it's Nerdist Presents The Hive. It's in theaters right off the top. Let's get that information into your brains. Comes out in theaters September 14th this year, September 14th across the country, and you can get tickets available at fathomevents.com. And I guess we'll introduce the guest. You've read his name, and you've probably seen his name pop up throughout the site and on the net as well. But please please welcome to the show, Mr. David Yarovesky.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey
Welcome.
I feel like,
Woo!
yeah,
Or as I call him, Yarvo.
yeah. People,
As does
people
most
call
people
me.
call
Yeah,
me
most
Yarvo.
people do call me that.
Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
I'm glad we can get you on here.
Yeah, it's really cool to be here.
Yeah.
It's. I think is this my first podcast? Maybe.
Okay.
It's weird being podcasted. I hear them all the time.
Yeah.
But now I'm living.
Now
one.
you're part of the system.
Now I'm. Yeah.
You've become a member of the Hive podcast.
Yeah.
The podcast Hive that is everybody on the internet.
Yeah, we're gonna start vomiting black stuff soon. It'll be great.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Well, I was up late enough. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Well, we both were. We both were.
Next thing I know, it's like 3:30, and he's like, "Oh wait, we got a podcast tomorrow. You should probably leave." We were playing a game at his place last night called Avalon. If any of the listeners have played it, really fun game. But we're not here to plug the Avalon.
No, but it went completely insane last night.
It did.
Everyone was screaming at each other. It was complete madness.
The beauty of those types of games, if you've ever played Avalon or Mafia or any of those types of games, is the key is to play with your friends that know how to play those games, and that everybody's just playing to win, and nobody cares. Because the things you say...
You can't take it personally.
You can't take anything
personally.
personally.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We have a good group of friends that are pretty comfortable with like one guy was up, jumping up and down, screaming. One guy was pacing.
One guy was pacing, fingers pointing,
yelling, totally wrong.
screaming.
That's
wrong.
the best though. You need to be able to separate the game from reality. Because I play this Game of Thrones board game with some friends where it's basically like Risk on bath
I've played
salts.
it. I love it.
Yeah,
love it.
But if you attack someone, I have certain friends that will take that as a personal affront on their very being, and will they'll want to flip the board. They will not talk to you after the game. I'm like,
great.
hey, be cool.
It's so great. It's so great. I love it.
It's like there's people who don't know the one and done rule of games. You could burn someone and ruin an alliance this game, but then in another 2 weeks, if we play again, there's people who they'll hold that against you and they'll hate it. I mean, it's like, look, I wronged you because you wronged me 2 turns before that. This is a whole reset. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, look, I always operate when I play those kind of strategy games. I always operate like I'm gonna do what's best for my game.
Absolutely.
That's it. And you could have burned me last time, but
now I need you.
now I need you. We're in this
so
together, buddy.
I love that. It's because that's how you play games.
how you have
I'm a sore loser, and I'm going to play to win.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do what I can to
And
win.
then I'll be a
each
sore
time.
winner.
Yeah, then I'll be a sore winner.
Play to win.
And then as soon as I destroy you and I hurt your feelings, when the game's done, I'm going to act like nothing ever happened.
yeah.
Aside from saying, so what? Did I just win?
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does this mean? Did I break it? High score?
Where's my trophy?
That was very much last night. Last night was very much.
There was the second round where we could have won 2 turns in, but we just wanted to play it out.
Enjoyed watching everyone yell at each other.
It's so fun.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
We wanted to watch it.
It's so good.
Everyone was so upset and freaking out,
And nobody knew
angry,
who
and no one knew anything.
No.
So we were just like, let's just let it play out.
Yeah.
Let's just let it-
And the thing is
let
like,
him.
because we were all the bad guys,
We were all bad.
but we also didn't, there was no talking to each other about, nobody decided at one point to be like, should we come out? It was just like, we all kind of just were like,
This is such
we
a
all
show.
knew it
Yeah.
was such a
This is
show.
Such a show.
We all played the townspeople up until the end because why not?
Yeah, why not?
Dave, as our listeners know, and as you know, because I told you last night and I told you 5 minutes ago, we like to start off each episode with a guest providing either a fun fact about themselves or something they learned recently or both. So what do you got for us
Well, I guess
today?
this sort of counts as both, but I'm starting to realize that you don't actually need much sleep as a human being. That sleep might be a recommendation.
It's like a suggested donation to your overall well-being.
Yeah, that's exactly worded correctly. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's feeling like, at least. So I guess that would both be something about myself.
Yeah.
And
that would work.
yeah.
I like that, and I'm kind of in that same boat. It's I was up late, probably later than you because I had to drive home. Then I got up earlier than you because I went and watched soccer this morning, and I'm functioning fine currently.
Wait another 15 minutes. He's just going to crash out hard.
Talk to me later in the evening. But there's also when everybody's like, oh, you need 8 hours of sleep or whatever. But you read about I always read every year. I read a new story about Jay Leno or Ryan Seacrest or someone, and it's like these people who are majorly successful and creative forces, just creating content and constantly producing, and they don't get 8 hours of sleep.
Oh, yeah. The truth is, I actually probably feel best at around 5 hours sleep.
Yeah, I would say so.
And I've also read a lot of things that's, you always see those facts that tell you, people who sleep this long, have a shorter
Are
life
late for work.
expectancy and stuff. Are late for work. but they say that people who sleep 5 or 6 hours have a longer life expectancy than people who sleep 8 to 10 hours.
I would think so. I would think because they enjoy more of life and they're not sleeping away 3/4 of it.
Well,
or
I
25% of it. Or
90% of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
but there's also the stress level that I've heard and I've read that if you wake up, there's a sleep cycle is generally 4.5 hours or whatever I've read.
Sure.
And if you wake up at the end of one, you're going to be fine. you'll wake up. Like if you wake up on your own, that's generally the end of the sleep cycle automatically. Like if you wake up and you're cognizant and your brain's active, then you woke up at the end of the sleep cycle. Sure. But if you wake up in the middle of one, that's when you're groggy and you're like, that's when you feel tired. So if you do sleep 8 hours or 7 hours, 9 times out of 10, mathematically, in theory, according to these articles or whatever, you're going to wake up in the middle or towards the end of a sleep cycle, which is why it'd be harder to wake up versus.
Well, you know what I found out about, at least myself, is that if I have like a small drink before I go to sleep, I'll wake up feeling much better than if I don't.
Okay.
And so, actually, when I was...
Be it water or any type of drink?
Sorry, no, an alcoholic.
An alcoholic.
I'll have like a really small glass of whiskey.
Okay.
It's like a nightcap, like literally a nightcap.
Time to put the baby to bed.
Yeah, exactly, like an old-timey nightcap.
Yeah.
But I did that on the Hive every night, because I'd get like I'd be lucky to get 4 hours of sleep, but right before I went to bed, processing everything that happened in the day, trying to slow my brain down, to have like half a glass of whiskey, gone, woke up feeling sharp, and it really helped. And my theory, and there's literally no science behind it, but my theory is it allowed me to sleep a little more consistently.
Yeah.
Like it allowed me to
a flow or an evener sleep.
An evener sleep, yeah. It just kind of like put me down. So
that's also interesting. I almost wonder if some of that is carryover. There is like I've read studies where there's like the fine line between like tipsy and like precision, to where like they say like sharpshooters and snipers and all of that, if they have like a little bit of a glass of like whiskey or beer or something, to where they get a little elevated or whatever as far as alcohol goes or whatever, it steadies your nerves to where you can be more precise. It helps steady your nerves enough. So I wonder if that's something to do,
Why there's a lot of snipers at happy hour.
Do you mean? I don't know.
There was a guest on Bill Maher last night who said that he was talking about he studied cultures that had really long life expectancies.
Okay.
And he said something that was consistent across that was people who had they drink. And it increases your life expectancy quite a bit. Drinking.
You're going to die.
I'm going to die.
I think he said 21 drinks a week or something like that on average.
Huh.
Longer life expectancy. And eating beans.
Okay, well, I eat beans.
Lots of beans.
You're going to have to double your bean intake. You're going to have a real bean feast.
I'm going to have to eat so many more beans, or just start drinking.
Yeah. Just blend up beans and drink that. Chug down some legumes.
Chug down some legumes. I'll take a Jack and legumes.
We should all be drinking.
I'll take a legumes and Coke.
Bean juice right now, I think.
Take some kidneys and Coke.
Yeah, what you can't see, listener at home, is we're all just sipping on open cans of beans.
The bean juice.
For our life expectancies.
Yeah.
Here's something.
For health.
Dave,
Yes.
according to Wikipedia.
Uh-oh. Go on.
You've been dead for 10 years.
How's that possible?
Ghost pod.
He's a ghost.
Haunted.
You're from Calabasas.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I can confirm that's true.
Yeah? What you say that like it's a...
I grew up there. Yeah.
You grew up there? You're from Calabasas?
Well, look, I might be totally wrong, but it definitely seems like Calabasas is a different Calabasas. Like, in 1998, if I said I was from Calabasas, people went, where?
Yeah.
And now people go, oh, isn't that where, like, Justin Bieber lives?
And the Kardashians.
And the Kardashians, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's developed a reputation for being that.
So you know Kim?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And you know Justin?
Yeah. We always just... that's who else was playing Mafia.
And he was Mafia, goddammit.
No, yeah, everyone knows Kim in Calabasas. We just...
Oh, no, Kim.
Yeah, we all just waved her.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I did grow up there. That is true. I do think it's changed. It's become a bit like reality starry in the sense of like anytime I say grew up in Calabasas, everyone's eyes are like, oh, Kim Kardashian. And like,
so it wasn't always like a land of just billionaires.
No. Well,
They're billionaires, right? Timberlake, Bieber's got to be close.
I don't.
Right? Or 100?
No, I don't think either.
Hundreds.
I don't think either of them are billionaires.
not a
They're
billionaire?
like just
Millionaires.
multi-millionaires.
Multiverse mirror.
Yeah, they're billionaires in another dimension.
yeah. There's definitely money in Calabasas. There's definitely always been money in Calabasas, but I think like the stigma that surrounds Calabasas is different now.
Calabasas, Spanish for pumpkins. Did you know that?
No. That's very interesting.
Spanish for pumpkins. So if you're Spanish and it's September and you go into Starbucks, you can order a Calabasas spice
Latte.
latte.
I did actually know that. I was just trying to entertain you. But here's what you don't know. There's a tree in Calabasas.
Okay.
It's the old hanging tree.
Okay.
They used to hang people from this tree. And
Ooh.
supposedly the city would reek of corpses because right by it they would bury these bodies. It's this hanging tree. It's on Old Calabasas Road.
You think they would try to cover that up with some pumpkin smell?
But okay, now you say this, but have you been there recently? Is it still there?
I don't know. No, I haven't been to Calabasas in years.
In years. I Googled, this is what I Googled, the old hanging tree Calabasas.
Yes.
And the according to the LA
Justin
Times,
Bieber spotted hanging in Calabasas.
according to a January 27th, 1995 article in the Los Angeles Times, the 12-foot oak tree, a landmark in the city's Old Town, toppled over during the night Wednesday, the victim of recent storms. So apparently...
the hanging tree's gone?
The hanging tree's gone, rest in peace.
Oh, I have so many fond memories of masturbating on that tree.
Just jerking it on that tree.
Just hanging out.
What are you going to do about it? You're a
Thinking
tree.
about all the people who were killed on this tree.
So how did you get into horror? I was jerking on this tree one day.
This hanging tree.
When I got a vision.
Yeah. Another fun fact about Calabasas, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a kind of boom, a musical boom from in the 2000s that stemmed out of Calabasas.
Okay.
We had Incubus, we had Hoobastank.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you think
Of course,
about that
those two,
era.
that
of
makes
course.
complete sense.
So you guys
Lincoln
made
Park.
Hoobastank.
Lincoln Park came from our area.
Really?
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's interesting because I do have a fact about Lincoln Park.
Oh, you have a fact
You have
about
a
Lincoln
fact
Park?
about Lincoln
Yeah,
Park.
but let's get on.
Is it that the drummer or something went to high school with me?
No,
or
it's,
middle school. Or, I don't even know what.
Dave, this
it's that
is your
he's-
life.
that
Let's
he's-
bring him out.
It's that he's crying in his sleep or whatever. How's that song go?
I don't.
Doesn't
I'll be honest.
matter.
I
I
did
don't
not listen to a lot of Linkin
I know.
Park.
I listened to that first album.
Yo,
when it came
you know
out.
what?
That was huge.
You should sing us a Linkin Park song.
No,
right
I
now.
didn't.
Who would like to hear Razzle sing us Linkin Park? Right?
I think you should say it. Where's all those voices coming from?
No, that's our studio audience. I told you, don't talk while we're recording.
There's also a thing about, you might know about this, if not, and if you do, I'd love to hear a little bit about it. But the Leonis Adobe, it's an adobe structure in Old Town Calabasas that dates from 1844 and is one of the oldest surviving buildings in the greater Los Angeles area. Do you know anything about that? The Leonis Adobe.
I know. I don't. No,
Fair enough.
I don't.
Alrighty then. Well, never mind, eh?
Yeah. Sorry. I wish I could.
Fuck
add
you,
to that.
fans of Adobes.
Yeah.
Yeah, enjoy your photoshops.
Yeah.
I spent my 18 years in Calabasas playing video games.
Yeah.
Basically, I didn't leave the house much except to
Jerk off on the hanging tree.
on that.
Every so often I go outside, jerking on a tree, go back inside, pick up from the safe point.
Yeah.
Respawn. Where were you
exactly.
at? I was just seeing a friend.
Doesn't man about jerking off on a tree.
Linkin Park is their debut album, Hybrid Theory, was the highest selling debut album of the 21st century,
Is that true?
according to Wikipedia here. Which kind of puzzles me
what
'cause
year
I
did it
feel-
come out?
2000.
2000.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
21st.
Yeah.
So in the
21st.
15 years.
Right.
And it will never be beaten because of the way the internet and technology works.
Could be beaten.
Yeah, the new Carly Rae Jepsen's pretty good, but
Yeah,
that's not her
a
debut.
But yeah,
It's really good.
It probably won't be beaten.
Yeah.
But it could be.
Could be. But I won't be living
there's still-
because I don't drink.
What
You might,
What?
because you're a drinker. You'll live longer than me, so you might see something.
You know, the funny thing is, I'm not really that much of a drinker. My body chemistry and that sleep thing actually makes me drink more often than I even would. If it wasn't for that, I'd probably drink once every 2 months,
Okay.
or once a month maybe, or whatever.
Sure.
Have a night where I'll
So
drink.
Dan will live longer
Yeah,
than both of us.
because I have 21 drinks a week. Exactly. Once I hit that mark, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna live forever now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that
The
averages
key.
out to 3 drinks a day, which
Yeah.
would not be
Morning, noon, and
that
night?
bad.
No.
That'd be pretty intense
No,
for me, man.
all
I'm not gonna lie.
all morning.
All mornings, 3
All
drinks in the
morning.
morning.
Gotta get through this day.
I don't want to go to work today, honey.
3 drinks a day.
Yeah.
That would be really
They're
hard.
3 Long Island iced teas every day.
3
Because I want to hit fast forward, then have it be evening. Good morning. 3 Long Islands, please. Personal home bartender.
They make that noise. He's got like those shoes that make noises.
Of course.
He's got one of those small segways now that the kids are riding around.
Have seen. I walked out of
that every Vine star has. And
a
that people
screening.
buy those.
You're
Yeah.
talking about skateboards. Skateboards is the word you're looking for.
It's like a
Yes, I wish.
it's
a
like
small-
a skateboard fucked a Segway.
It's like a small Segway that doesn't have a motor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Skateboard.
But have you seen these? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
basically
Oh,
they
you know
are
what I'm talking about.
I don't know
these.
what you're talking about.
It's like a horizontal skateboard, essentially, with 2 wheels on either side, and you control it via a like. You can control it by like leaning forward, leaning back, and like there's a little like remote that you have as well.
Oh, cool.
But basically, it's a
Those things.
freestanding 2-wheeled scooter.
They're
cool.
They're unfortunately blowing up and they're annoying as shit.
Yeah, I walked out of a screening recently of Man from Uncle and Meek Mill. This was
course.
pre-Drake beef. Meek Mill and his entire entourage were just tooling around on those, and I was just like, "What the fuck did I miss? Was there a huge future tech boom that was only given to like the obscenely wealthy while I was
Yeah.
in this movie theater? What
Rappers and
happened?
Vine stars.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, the world has changed.
There was.
It's like, I had all these drinks, and now look at the world.
You blacked out for too long.
I blacked out for 100 years.
They all have robot servants now.
Yeah, robot butlers,
Yeah.
modeled after the guys from Downton Abbey. It's great. It's great. Here's a fun fact that I learned last night, apropos of nothing. What do you call a group of porcupines? What do you call a group of porcupines? What do you guys think?
My ex-girlfriends. No.
Machi.
Machi. No.
I don't know. I couldn't possibly guess.
Some porks.
A porks?
Pines. Some pines. A forest.
A forest of porcupines.
A forest of
Close.
A forest of porcupines.
It's a prickle of porcupines.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was cute. Anyway,
That's cute.
Prickle.
that's all I got.
It's adorable. So cute.
I know 2 porcupines, and
Oh,
they would
yeah?
have a problem with that.
Yeah,
They would
those
disagree.
little prickles.
Little prickles. How many's a prickle?
Didn't ask.
Would 2 be a prickle?
I don't know
'Cause two's
how
a
many.
couple.
How many is a murder? A
Well,
murder of porcupines.
Would you say?
a Sonic of Hedgehogs?
I feel like it would have to be a few. Oh, that's interesting that you say Sonic. I think I got something here about
Oh,
that. Or maybe
yeah?
I do.
You have a fact about Sonic the Hedgehog?
I do.
Fucking. Then why are we talking about anything else?
Let me ask you this though: would it? Because a couple and then a few. So I feel like if there is a plural for a group,
A couple.
it would have to be more than a
A
couple.
few. Several. A prickle.
So
That's
five.
how it goes.
Sonic. So you mentioned you played video games. Did you ever play Sonic the Hedgehog?
Did I ever play Sonic the Hedgehog? You have insulted me, sir.
Well, you know what?
Yes, I've played Sonic the
Excuse
Hedgehog.
me. Which version?
I've also, yeah, I also played Super Mario Brothers.
Here's an interesting thing about Sonic. His name was not always Sonic. That came a lot later. Even before they, once they settled on the idea of a hedgehog, designer Naoto Oshima, he was the guy who suggested, hey, why don't we make this guy a hedgehog? Because originally Sonic was going to be a rabbit, because they liked the idea of a hero with prehensile ears being able to grab stuff. Even before...
Interesting.
Yeah, they originally had the stupidest name for this. Sonic was named Mr. Needlemouse.
Can't imagine why that didn't fly.
Yeah, but the game was referred to as Project Needlemouse
Interesting.
as a code name for a later game in 2009. It's a little homage back. So Mr. Needlemouse could have been Sonic the Hedgehog.
I'm a huge fan of Mr. Needle Mouse.
Yeah.
Love Mr. Needle Mouse.
I prefer needle mouses to needle mices.
So was that?
No, the opening Sega.
Yeah.
The chant soundbite for the original Sonic the Hedgehog used 1/8 of the game's total memory, meaning that it was larger than some entire zones.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing. That is an amazing fact.
Isn't that wild?
Is crazy, but it makes total sense.
Like, just to think about like some of those sound bites on those old games that we used to play took up way more memory just to get.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's some of that, like,
wow.
Hearing all that, like, and even thinking about, like, and then you look at the price points, and they were still $50.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, games were still, they cost the same as they do it nowadays.
Dude, I remember
generally.
I bought Phantasy Star for.
I love that game.
Yeah. I think it was $70. I think I bought it for $70.
Which system was that for?
That was Sega Genesis, I
Sega
believe.
Genesis, yeah. $70, man. Back then, that's crazy. Think about it.
It's sort of
Games
leveled
kind
off. Now games are $60.
They kind of are. But like they have been $60 until like I feel like 2 years ago. But now every time I play a game, the amount of DLC that they try to sell me,
Yeah.
it's like
Downloadable content.
Buy most
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
game now, and then in 2 months get additional costumes, levels, stuff that we should have put in here, but we pushed it out too early.
Yeah. It's like $110 for a game now.
Yeah.
if you want everything.
If you want the
don't buy
full
everything.
quote unquote experience.
Yeah. If you want the gun that everyone's using.
Yeah. if you want to get that good gun.
Yeah.
Are you jealous of everybody else's gun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Buy more.
All right, Mom.
Yeah. The game's $60, but if you want your health level to be the same as everyone else's, that's $110.
Sure, you're playing Call of Duty, but you want to be playing Cool of Duty.
There's a new Call of Duty coming out.
Oh yeah, there's a beta going
I
on
know.
right now
I
for
know.
Black Ops 3.
I know. If
Call of
anybody-
Duty Black Ops
somebody
3.
give me
Carl Winslow.
somebody-
He's back.
Is that little game that no one plays? Call
yeah,
of Duty?
it's that indie title.
A little indie title?
It's a little indie platformer.
Oh man, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I love
think
it's
going to be big.
I love its
someday.
8-bit pixel style of art.
I had publicists sent me codes. They're like, hey, here's the Call of Duty, play it, tweet about it, whatever. And I'm just like, hey, sweet, I don't have a PS4. Do you want to send me one of those? And I will do all those things. But I don't have a PS4 yet.
Speaking of
so.
Skittles,
Shout
what
out.
a great candy. I would love if they sent me a backpack full of Skittles.
Hey, Skittles, if you're listening again, we're all out of Skittles.
Yeah.
They sent us They sent us both duffel bags of Skittles.
It's ridiculous. It's one of the silliest backpacks I've ever seen.
We talked about them on the show.
Don't send that to me.
Hey, Dave wants some Skittles.
I don't want any Skittles. I'll eat them all.
And good and plenty, Dave is interested in you.
But he,
I'll look like a good and plenty. Seriously, don't send it my way.
Going back to Sonic real quick, I found another. So the villain, he's known by different names depending on where in the world you
remember
are.
his name. It's Professor, right? It's Professor.
No,
Doctor. Doctor.
You got
Scratch
this.
and Sniff.
Dr. Scratch and Sniff. You guessed it.
Yep, there it is.
Needles and
Dr. Needle Dick Scratch and Sniff.
Doctor something Winkle. Doctor
Sanjay
Professor.
Gupta.
Doctor
Professor Sanjay Gupta.
That's him.
What
It is
it? Doctor.
Dr.
Robotnik.
Dr. Robotnik. Oh my God, first guess. I can't believe that.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Your memory.
In Japan, he has different names depending where you are. In Japan, he's known as Dr. Eggman. Here, he's known as Dr. Ivo Robotnik, and that name Ivo came from an American developer named Dean Sitton, who named him after her sister's then boyfriend, who he apparently did not like very much. But they had a bunch of other names they tossed around, much like Mr. Needlemouse. Bad Wrench, Bad Vibes, Bad Year, and Fatty Lobotnik.
Jesus.
I really wish they went with Fatty Lobotnik. Because that game is just about this fat dude who rides around in a giant egg robot, taking adorable woodland creatures, turning them to nightmare beasts.
I suppose it is.
At the end of every level, you open a little capsule and a bunch of cute, adorable woodland creatures pop out.
Yep.
Here's the thing, kind of going about to talk about the Hive for a bit here.
Oh yeah. I forgot I made that.
Are you a Redditor? Do you go on Reddit? Do you surf Reddit?
I do.
There's a thing that goes on Reddit it's like Banana for Scale. It's like an ongoing joke for Banana for Scale.
It's where you take a picture and you put a banana in there to give a sense of scale.
Because bananas don't have different shapes or sizes is the joke.
Not anymore.
But according to this, it's a bad idea to use a banana for scale when taking pictures of a beehive, since the alarm pheromone to alert bees to defend their hive smells like bananas. So if at any point...
Is that how you were bringing up the hive?
If at any point...
What does that have to do with it?
Well, I typed in hive to find
you know that scene in the Hive where they all hold up bananas?
Yeah. Oh, the banana scene.
Yeah.
Oh, right. With
the big banana set piece.
We love Segway Sir Dave.
Oh, it was good.
We love two-wheeled scooters. Well, so tell us a little bit about making the Hive. What was the experience like? Where did you guys shoot? How long of a shoot was it?
It was tough because we had all these bananas.
Yeah, and the cast all big fans of they're all apiary workers who work at beehives, beekeepers.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. What was your real question?
My real question was: tell us a little bit about making the movie. What was it like? Where did you shoot? How long was the shoot? What was the most difficult part?
Holy crap! There's a whole lot of questions.
Answer any one of them.
All right, sure, I will. We shot.
And you're out of time.
Oh, hey guys, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. We shot in Malibu. On the unfortunately the coldest nights of the year.
Oh no.
And we were all acting, all the actors had to act like it was summer and wear summer clothes.
That's how it always goes.
And, it was drizzling on them and freezing, and it was all night shoots, of course, because nothing bad happens during the day. And so we shot half the movie out there, and then we took like a 2-week hiatus while I scrambled to cut half of the movie. That will make sense to someone who's seen the movie, where it's like this stuff not going on in the room, and so then we came back and shot the rest of it in like Echo Park.
Okay,
nice,
yeah,
awesome,
nice. It was very quick. We shot real fast.
Yeah,
we were moving real fast. Yeah, we had like 18 days.
Oh, really?
Blazing.
Well, you know what else shot in 18 days? Whiplash. So you're great.
Wow. Oh, yeah. So
you're fine.
Yeah, we're good.
Whiplash also don't hold bananas up to drummers.
Yeah, but look, we
freak out.
Look, we had a stunt. We had at least one big stunt or one big effects gag every day we shot.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, if you think about it, it makes it.
That's ambitious in the end.
Insanely,
if to do that in 18 days.
Yeah,
spread out regardless, but that's still quite ambitious to, if resetting and all that.
Yeah, it was tough,
especially during the night hours.
Well, I mean, as I said earlier in this podcast, I'd be happy to get 3 hours, 4 hours sleep at night. And, I mean, dude, I'm not complaining. It's what you do,
Have you learned?
I learned nothing.
You learned nothing?
I learned nothing from
nothing from this.
No, I was just like, I went into it,
home?
and I was like, wow, I wish I learned something from this, but
Bummer.
It was just.
I just better do this again and
learn more nothing.
Learn more nothing.
Did I learn things? Yeah.
Yeah, like what's your if someone had asked you immediately, like which I'm asking you right now.
Yeah.
What did you learn that you could put towards your next project that could help? Do you know what I mean? Or learning with cameras, or learning about doing night shoots successfully.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to. And this is such a cliche thing, and I see it all the time. Like, directors will make a list of like the lessons that they learn, but no one ever you can't stress it enough. It's like you have to trust your gut. When you know something's wrong, it's wrong. When you know something's right, it's right, and you have to fight that fight and trust in yourself. Trust that what you're feeling, what your instinct is on it, is 100% true. Because if you don't, you will kick yourself for a very long time, and that's something that I learned really fast. I had day one, we start filming, and I'm like, something's wrong, and it was just this or that or whatever, and I didn't. I didn't take it on. I was trying to figure something. It's day one. There's so many different things happening, and I didn't address it in the way that I should have. And so it was tough. I had to fix things that I did wrong because I knew that wasn't right. So the big lesson I think I learned was that you just and the most annoying thing was that I knew the whole time things weren't right. So that's it. Like trusting in yourself and just knowing that you really do know like what.
Especially on a shoot where time is of the essence, I imagine being able to cultivate that sense within yourself is particularly important because you need to be able to tell pretty immediately, okay, this is what I want, this is not what I want.
Yeah, absolutely. You have moments to make a judgment call, and oftentimes, like to me, I found that directing is, when people sit at home and they think about what directing is like, especially like on an indie level, it's probably a little different when there's more money, but not so much. They think about, their dream of how every scene should go with no thought to the practical realities on set. But what I find is directing feels like playing one long continuous game of Sophie's Choice, where they're like, I love this bit and I love this bit, but you only get one because of this. I love this and I love this, but you can't only do this. I love this and I love... so it's this constant hard choices that you're making that live with you because they're it's all like stuff that's really important to you and things that you love,
Yeah, you're pouring yourself into this project, so naturally everything that you do is you're like, well, I hope that was the right thing.
Yeah.
Just got to keep going forward.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the other thing that I learned was, I guess is something I learned more about myself, but it's probably true about a lot of directors, is that there is no kind of directing or light directing or casually directing anything. It's like it requires all of you, and it constantly it's like a weird game that it constantly wants to take more time and more energy and more effort from you, and you just have to keep happily giving it. So when I think about what's going to be next or whatever, I know that I'm going to spend the next 2 years of my life killing myself for that project. And so it has to be from conception something that I want to give that much of my life away to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a long time to pour yourself into something like wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
So that being said, what about the Hive in particular? What spoke to you about that? Where did the genesis for that come from?
Well, I got really lucky with the Hive. I mean, they came to me with a story that I thought was a very, well-written and cool story, but it wasn't what I wanted to make at all. And, I was just kind of upfront with them, and I was like, this isn't the kind of movie that I want to make, as a filmmaker. And they were like, okay, well, why don't you pitch us something, And I came back and I said, all right, you're not going to like it, but this is what it is. And honestly, in that room, I pitched 85% of the movie that you saw, and I went in there and I said, we're going, I've been very tight-lipped and kind of careful not to spoil things,
of course.
but I went in there and I was like, it should be this puzzle box that you're figuring pieces out and you're learning about this thing and and putting all the pieces together and we're intercutting and tell this whole thing. And I got to the end and I was just really fortunate. The producers were just like, yeah, let's do that. And 2 weeks later I was writing the movie and like, I don't know, another 6 weeks later I was filming the movie.
Wow.
It was just like,
yeah, it's like, all right, go.
Yeah, and I was churning out like a draft a week. I think I went through 11 drafts before we started shooting. It was just like, got to get better. Like, make it better, make it better, make it better.
But I feel like that's a important experience and exercise too, being able to turn something around like that quickly.
Yeah, I totally. I mean, the whole experience has been like, it's like now I look back because now I'm sitting here on a podcast and the movie's done and all that. And I look back and I'm like, wow, that was like 2 years. But to me, it felt like a sprint to here, a sprint to here. You know what I mean? So it was. They say it's not a sprint; it's a marathon. But that felt like a 2-year sprint.
Yeah. Well, I understand that feeling. I feel like you can't look at it when you're working on it. You can't look at it as a sum total. You have to like, okay, I have to get these drafts done. Okay, these drafts are done. Okay, now I have to get all this pre-production done. Okay, now we have to like get this scene done. You have to segment it or else you will drive yourself crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and in fact, I remember being on set and just you get completely lost in it. I mean, I had written so many drafts that I would be, I would start overthinking things and stuff. So I show up to set and someone hands me the pages for the day, and I'm like, these are my pages for the day. So I prep on those pages. I prepare. This is my universe right now.
Yeah.
Right. So for the next 12 hours, this is all I can see or focus on, and I just have to trust that the other pages in the script I still like and are still good and work, and I just have to tell the story of what's happening on, these 12 pages or whatever it is for the day, because it was an insane rate of shooting, but I had to make sure that those worked the best that I could get them to work,
When you guys wrapped, did the cast pour a Gatorade style container of the black goo on you?
No. They were all so sick of me, and they all just took turns spitting on me and flinging vials of feces at me. No, when it finally wrapped, it never happens like you think it does, right? So when we finally wrapped, it's like half the cast was already done the day before, and everyone was so exhausted. I mean, Gabe, the guy who plays Adam, the lead, man, horror movies are so physically taxing. When you see people running through the wilderness, you understand they were running for like 5 hours and we're chasing them, and they're running through like uneven, dirty ground, and and they're rolling on each other, and they're doing stunts, and they're being tossed around, and I mean and then on top of that, all the makeup, the contacts. I mean, the amount of contacts that are in their eyes, you wouldn't believe the story. But by the end, we all just hugged.
Yeah,
we just hugged.
We
and
did
wept.
it.
And slept.
wept,
Yeah.
and slept, but wept deeply.
Well, that's awesome. So it premieres September 14th.
September.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
September 14th. Yeah, it's one night only.
Yeah,
that's it. See it.
Because
It's a different way.
It's a different way it's being released, so it's kind of like a new type of way, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, you think about it. I mean, this could end up being the future model of like independent films. I mean, think about a movie like mine that was made for such a small budget, and now it's getting. We're fortunate enough that we're getting released, across the country in the way that we are, but doing it in this compact way, like one night. Everyone come down, check it out. It's it's great. It's great for us. It's great for them. People get to see it in the theater. I mean, this is a cinematic film. We shot it to be very visual, and I think it is very visual, and I think it's worth seeing it on.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely benefit from having the gigantic scale of that screen and like the theater sound, where it'll just like bring you in there, and you're like, oh god, I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's. There are films that I see now and I'm like, I don't need to see that on a big screen. But a lot of them, the reason is because they don't feel like cinematic experiences. And I think we tried to shoot something that was very cinematic.
It's awesome.
And it's worth it. I think it's cool. I think it's a cool way to show your movie.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. September 14th.
September 14th.
The Hive, Nerdist Presents The Hive.
Get them on Fathom Events.
FathomEvents.com.
Yeah.
Before it sells out, because if it sells out in your city,
then you'll have to watch it on VOD.
Yeah.
And you'll be...
Which I guess is a good option.
Exactly.
Too, but
you'll be SOD, SOL.
Yes, you'll be SOL. You'll be SOL IRL.
Watching it on VOD because you didn't see it at the
AMC. There we go. We got there. Watch it not be in any AMC theaters.
It is though, right?
It is.
Yeah, I know.
It's the only
I know.
theaters.
It's all the theaters that Fathom participates.
Yeah, and Fathom's a gigantic organization. So
Yeah,
they have a pretty good imprint.
I was so happy to find out that like there's a theater like really close to me.
Yeah,
Fathom.
Yeah, I think that
awesome.
it's playing in Burbank. I believe.
Playing in Burbank.
Yeah,
it's playing in Burbank. And it's playing in what's it called? Universal
Nice.
City Walk. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's playing all over the place.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's cool.
That's
crazy.
really. I mean, that's
crazy.
That's very cool.
It's crazy. I mean, when you think about the amount of films that were shot on our budget, they don't typically end up in theaters across the country.
Absolutely. And it's in theaters across the country, sharing theaters with the likes of
Paul Blart 2.
Paul Blart, Mall Cops.
Paul Blart 3, Space Cop.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know. I have not looked ahead to see what else is coming out that week.
Paul Blart 4.
It's going up against
It's coming out against Grown Ups 3.
Pixel, the prequel to Pixels.
Yeah.
Coming out.
Pre-Pixel.
Yeah, it's going to be packed slate.
Yeah, it's coming out
ASCII.
against...
Yeah. Ooh.
ASCII, the
love,
prequel to
I love
Pixels.
ASCII.
That's a really
It's just gonna be
joke.
It's going to be all text on the screen.
Yeah.
binary code.
Although I would be interested. I think that could
Zork,
be
it's going to be Zork. It's just going to be text.
not a whole movie, but like a sequence in a movie that's animated with ASCII art. I think that could be cool.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there, listeners.
Someone make that.
Yeah, your move.
1, 2, 3, not it.
Yeah.
Nose goes.
Yeah, please.
Oh God, no.
I get a panic attack anytime anyone talks about animation to me. I did an animated thing once, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I respect those animators so much, but it's
Oh, it's a
grinding.
nightmarish amount of work.
It's nightmarish amount of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I spent a year and a half on a couple minute animated short.
Oh, wow.
You're
It
just
was like 4 minutes.
You're just like, people make 2-hour movies of these?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, lots of,
Oh yeah, when you think
Yeah.
about when you watch those Bugs Bunny cartoons, and
Yeah.
you're just like, oh my God. Or like Snow White, when you watch Snow White and you think like, what year was Snow White made in, like 20s or 30?
51,
or
32 maybe?
Oh, maybe. Oh yeah, of course it's not
37.
37. Yeah, whatever.
I mean, it was, and that was a new technology. That was all like the plated. That was the horizontal camera. Like Disney invented that so they could get the 3 dimensions.
You think about those guys who were grinding that out and how hard they must have worked. Oh my God.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
unbelievable.
And that, what is it called, Writer's Alley or something like that? Like where it was like 15 people, animators crammed in like rooms with like rats.
Artist
and stuff,
Alley?
like Artist Alley, and it was like
One
I
of the
mean, creative geniuses back in the day, like innovators.
Yeah.
But the grueling process that had to have been.
one of the producers on the Hive worked on Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Holy shit.
He was
He
like
killed Roger Rabbit.
he
framed
he
framed him.
Yeah, he framed Roger Rabbit. And he was I think he was the effects. He was the main effects guy behind it or whatever. And so he would just tell me stories. I would just ask him all these questions all the time, and he would just tell me about
That's
the
awesome.
grind of like making Jessica Rabbit's dress twinkle and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like
'Cause it does.
unbelievable. 'Cause it does,
And it's
yeah.
animated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So good.
Pre-computers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the poking holes in frames to
Shine light through. Oh my
to
gosh.
Jeez
overexpose,
Louise.
like with optical printers. I mean, do you know how much work that is?
A lot. I don't, but I can hear it, and I envision
About as much
it.
work as sitting through Cars 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
Amazing.
innovators, and that's
Amazing.
amazing, and I thank them for that, and I'm glad I don't do that.
Yeah, me too.
now-
I'm
now
so
I just
glad.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't even know where to think.
Now I
That's
just
the thing,
wanna
is, like,
watch that
somebody
movie
thought about
again.
that. Somebody was like, "Let's just poke holes in it,"
Yeah.
versus just do white
It was
dots.
him.
Like,
He's the one that thought of it.
well,
He's the one who yeah, it's crazy.
let's do a biopic on him.
Yeah, I
Poking
know.
holes.
I would just ask him questions.
Poking holes, the Roger Rabbit story.
Like whenever we had a minute, I would just ask
Yeah.
him questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you still talk to Roger?
Yeah, it's crazy.
David, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you
Oh,
so
we
much.
done?
man. Yeah, we're approaching that
Approaching that
time.
that sweet spot on the podcast where
I'm gonna miss you guys.
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
miss
miss you
you,
too. We'll have to stay in touch via this
Well-
cup telephone I
Harold.
made.
what was the guy's name on 20,001?
What?
2001 wasn't it, Dave?
Yeah, David.
Thank you,
I can't
David.
let you do that, David.
Thank you, David, for joining us. Right?
Yeah.
welcome.
Then he
Yeah.
was like, Nerdist Presents The Hive, releasing September 14th, 2015.
Yeah, go buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Go by. You can do it in
I'll
the
see you
robot
there.
voice.
I'll see you there.
Gotta do it in the
Yeah.
robot
Where
voice.
can
I
where can
have no
people
robot.
find
I'm a
you
human.
Yes.
on the internet?
Oh, I'm at Yarvo on Twitter. I am at Yarvo on Instagram because someone else took Yarvo.
Amazing.
That son of a bitch.
How about the dude who has at Alphabet on Twitter and Google decided to change their parent company name to Alphabet.
Yeah.
So that dude's
score.
getting paid so much money.
Score.
Like that. Remember when those dudes were squatting on the @Quickster account
Yeah.
for Netflix?
They got paid for that.
They
and
did
then
not get paid.
Oh, they didn't?
Netflix was like, we're just not going to change our name. See ya.
That's amazing.
Wow.
And then they ended up going and doing better because Netflix changed their mind.
Yeah,
And now
because
they dropped.
Quickster is a garbage
it's
name.
Stupid. Oh.
Yes. So @Yarvo, @YarvoYarvo, and on Facebook @YarvoYarvoYarvo.
Yeah, just
If you just keep adding Yarvos, you will keep finding him.
Yarvo with the superscript 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yarvo cubed.
Yarvo cute.
Yes, so Nerdist Presents The Hive coming out September 14th. FathomEvents.com. You can find tickets there. Anywhere else, anything else that you would like to plug?
no.
Cool.
Literally nothing else.
Go see The Hive, guys.
This
Go
is
see
my-
it.
Go see The Hive.
Yeah. And if you want to talk to us on social media, you're in luck. The podcast is on Twitter @TWL Podcast. We're on Facebook, Today We Learn Razzle and Dan. You can email us todaywelearnpodcast@gmail.com, or you can talk to us individually. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, etc. @OsteoFerocious.
I am on Twitter, Instagram, etc. My name is Razzle2, and my name is Razzle. And if you're on Reddit, my name is Razzle3, which that's not a real thing. You can't really follow people.
And you
I
can
don't go to Reddit.
look
I
at
don't
his
really
browsing
do that
history and see what he's upvoted. It's real gross. All dragons,
stuff.
fucking cars.
And if you're really bored, you can look on Ashley Madison Hacks and find my
Oh, man.
and
Well, what a
find
time to be
lots
alive.
of people. Oh, man.
Also,
The
real
internet.
quick, just wanted to plug my book, 100 Things Avengers Fans Should Know and Do Before They Die, is available on Amazon. Barnes & Noble is recently on sale for like half off, so keep your eyes peeled
Yeah.
for that. Why pay full price when you can pay half price? Just buy my book. And also, my new book, 100 Things Star Wars Fans Should Know and Do Before They Die, is available for pre-order now. Comes out November 1st. Read it.
Yeah.
Use it for kindling this winter. Just buy a copy.
Do
Thank
that,
you so much.
Buy his book, and I also want to plug my book that comes out on October 31st, 101 Things You Should Know About Star Wars Before You Die.
I want to plug my book that comes out October 30th, 101 Ways I'm Going to Murder Razzle in His Sleep.
I would like to bet $1.
It's an ebook. It's a Kindle ebook. I'm self-publishing, so $1 is plenty.
Just going to Price is Right it and say, hey.
$0. I wouldn't pay for that.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Aristotle. He's got a podcast, too. I can't remember the name because he never tells me it, but listen to it. What is it, Aristotle?
The
Meltcast.
The Meltcast. And you can find that by going to nerdmeltla.com. Just look up Meltcast.
Just go to google.com.
Imagine a podcast that's melting. It's all about those Dali paintings about the clocks.
Go to whitehouse.gov and look up.
Go to whitehouse.com, circa 1998.
Yeah.
And you'll thank me later.
Get in your time machine
Yeah.
and go back to whitehouse.com.
Yeah,
And Google Meltcast.
exactly.
And thanks, everybody, for listening. Check out The Hive. Go watch it. And as always,
Save us, Mr. Needle Mouse.
save us.
That's it.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Dave.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.